There is a brand new DreamWorks animation film that just hit theaters last weekend, and I finally have the opportunity to talk about it here on the channel, and let me tell you, it was actually okay. Welcome back, film fans. It is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today on the channel, I want to talk to you guys about the brand new animated comedy adventure musical film called Trolls Band Together. Trolls Band Together is directed by Walt Dohrn, who also directed the previous two Trolls films, as the film stars Anna Kendrick as Poppy and Justin Timberlake as Branch. This film is also a direct sequel to 2020's Trolls World Tour, and it is the third film in the Trolls franchise. Poppy discovers that Branch was once a part of the boy band Brozone with his brothers, but when one of his brothers is kidnapped, Branch and Poppy embark on a journey to reunite his two other brothers and rescue their brother Floyd. So going into Trolls Band Together, I wasn't super enthusiastic about it, as I haven't been the biggest fan of the Trolls franchise, but when I bought these movies on 4K Blu-ray this past month and rewatched them, I actually enjoyed those movies way more than when I first watched them, and I'd probably give both of them a 6 out of 10, even though the review I did for Trolls World Tour, which was one of my first couple of videos that I made here on the channel, I gave it a 2. So, you know, things have definitely changed since I started being on YouTube. And so with being a little bit more excited for this new film, I was a little nervous when the reviews came out and they weren't super positive. Like, they're okay, but not for a Trolls film. And now after seeing it, it's fine. Like, this is the type of movie that you'd want to watch with your family during the holiday season, especially the Thanksgiving season, where everyone can find some enjoyment in it. I'm going to give you guys some of my positives first with this film, and I do have to start with the animation. While it isn't the greatest animation I've ever seen comparative to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse that came out earlier this year, this is still a pretty solid animated film, and there is a lot of money behind it, where it's around $95 million, and the textures and character designs are really good here, as it definitely feels like a big step up from the previous two films, which also had solid animation. The colors, the brightness, the vibrant energy that this animation gives off is definitely very stimulating and a lot of fun to watch, especially during those musical number scenes. This film also has some pretty decent voice acting, with Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake playing Poppy and Branch respectively, as they were in the two previous Trolls films, and they're really good. I really enjoy Anna Kendrick in this role, as she gives so much energy to this character, and it is one of the reasons why Poppy is so popular right now. And Justin Timberlake does a really good job with Branch, and when they do their singing moments, they're really good because they're also doing the singing as well. This film also features a bunch of celebrity cameos from the likes of Eric Andre and James Corden. James Corden and other big celebrities, and I thought they're all pretty decent, just like the other two films. A lot of the positives I have with this film is pretty much similar to the other Trolls films, where the music is a lot of fun. Who doesn't love pop music? And it is filled to the brim with it, and kids are going to have a lot of fun with it. This movie also has a ton of humor and a lot more adult jokes in this one than the previous two films, where some of them were pretty edgy. I was laughing quite hard when none of the kids in my theater were laughing at it, but there is a lot of jokes in here that don't really work, which I will get into later in the video. This movie also has great pacing, just like the previous two films, where it is around an hour and a half and it goes by really fast. This is a very simple, straightforward story that you've probably seen in many different ways. It's very predictable, but for a family type movie, it is pretty serviceable. There's nothing in this movie that actually made me like mad or just annoyed. Unfortunately, I do have a few criticisms with this film, and I already know I'm gonna get, Brad, it's made for kids, blah blah blah. I already gave you guys my argument. I do this in every video that involves animation because, you know, I don't even need to bother getting into it. So one of my first criticisms I have is with some of the pop songs, as this is a criticism I have had with both these films, and I'm not the only one, because I have seen a lot of complaints about the music, as there are some songs that are great and they're used very effectively. It adds some comedy, it adds some emotion, but then there's a lot of songs that just didn't work for me. I'm not going to say what they are, just in case you don't want to get spoiled, because, you know, a lot of them aren't in the trailer, surprisingly, and it's just kind of annoying. I mean, it's only on for a little bit, so it doesn't completely deter the film, but when you have enough of these not so great pop songs mixed into the film, it does feel like it drags quite a bit. My next criticism with the film is with the story, as this is easily the worst aspect about the film, as I felt the first two films had a pretty solid story and they were more creative than this one, as this just feels like a story about Justin Timberlake's like actual life and being in different boy bands and, you know, being the youngest one out of those groups and having his own solo career, yada yada yada. And it started to become more clear that Branch isn't actually Branch anymore and he's just basically Justin Timberlake. And I know a lot of people aren't gonna care, they're just gonna see the trolls and a bunch of singing and who cares, but it was just a little obvious that they're making a lot, and I mean too many references to Justin Timberlake's life that almost feels like it's just Justin Timberlake's life but in the Trolls universe, which I guess people don't really care, or maybe they do care about, but I just found it very distracting watching this movie. And of course, we have to talk about the humor, as a lot of the jokes in this film are not great. They're demographically targeted towards children, and they're just stupid and dumb. There's actually a lot of adult humor in this that I thought was funny, that I mentioned earlier, but most of the jokes just didn't really work for me. And I think that's just the criticism as a whole, is the screenplay, because it is just a lesser film than those previous two films. Overall, guys, Trolls Band Together is just another average DreamWorks animated film that has all the things you would love to see in a Trolls film, and that's one of the reasons why this is going to be mostly a review-proof film, but I just don't think this movie is really worth all your time seeing, unless you go on a matinee show, or if you're taking the family to go out to see it. I mean, it's not the worst thing to go see. I mean, if you're talking about a family movie, and it just goes by, it does its thing, kids will really enjoy it, and you'll probably enjoy it a lot more than me. But I didn't hate this movie, I just thought it was just kind of I am giving Trolls Band Together a 5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review, as I want to know below in the comment section, have you seen Trolls Band Together, and where would you rank it among the other DreamWorks animated films? I can't wait to hear all about it. Before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like as you always should, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.